Yasuo long term would probably be the best character in the game.
Like when I played Yasuo, I forgot that this game was simple inputs. Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today on Fighting Game Select. Here we have Romolla.
I'm doing good. I'm vibing, dude. Excited to talk about Project L.
Getting a lot of opinions and thoughts from the highest placing duo, by the way, guys.
Yep, that's true. That's actually so true, dude. We got fourth in a in a tournament of 12 people, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know, we're the highest placing duos, and we used handshake, and that's pretty cool apparently. To start us off talking about duos, I think the whole thing about duos is really cool, and it feels really fun when you execute properly. Like handshake, basically it lets us tag twice in a sequence. You and I use that the whole way through, and it's when it works, it feels so good. I know you're gonna pass it to me. I do something, I'm gonna pass it to you, and it feels really good. But then there's instances where we we fumble for each other in ways where it's like basically one of us has to hit confirm and the other's like, oh, I'm not ready to hit confirm this. I do my assist because I did the same thing for you. Mm-hmm. I dropped some block strings. I dropped some combos for you. I'm not ashamed to admit that. You know, it's part of the process.
I mean,
I
definitely stole kills from you. Let me tell you that. I stole game winning.
Actually, League of Legends, dude. Actually, League of Legends. What's up with that?
Yeah, I got the kill. You got the assist.
Yeah.
The feeling of being like in sync with your teammate is like a great feeling, right?
Oh, extremely.
But as you said, I do feel like you can have something in mind that you see. I can see it, but it might be a little bit different.
Right,
and,
right.
Those little things can cause error. I feel like naturally. Because
of course,
because we're technically playing the same role. I do like that concept, but I do feel like later on that it can possibly be 10 times harder. Like I feel like you know how like sometimes when you're in the heated moment, you'll do a hit confirm you never did before at that moment.
Yeah.
And if I don't see that,
combo.
And if I don't see that or recognize that you're doing that, like, and I do something to like throw you off, that could be something really bad.
Right. Again, this is all from the angle of competitive stuff. I think if you're just playing casually, it's fantastic. In a lot of ways, if you're the less competitive you are, the more like it's just a huge plus. Because it's like it's just another way to enjoy the game. I mean, when was the last time they did something like that? That was like
Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Exactly, and that's like almost 10 years old now, right?
They somewhat did it for Tekken Tag 2 as well. What was like the least fun aspect about Project L for you?
For me, I thought about the game a lot, how it would develop, and I think usually playing defense felt pretty bad in a lot of ways. Not because like it's like, oh, I'm blocking stuff, it's hard. It feels bad on a lot of fundamental levels because of how meter is used. You know, like most of the defensive options are behind meter, and I think that's okay. Having defensive options cost things is important. I think if it's really expensive, it starts to feel more like, oh, I have to I can super or I can go for a defensive option that may work. And then if it doesn't work, it just feels bad. You know what I mean? Like there's like a layer of like, oh, I guessed wrong on this interaction. I gotta play a little safer. I gotta be smart about this. And there's like, I did this, it's wrong, and now I feel like a idiot for ever even trying it. You know what I mean? It encourages people to kind of either play super aggressive and corner you and just like run you over, or it inspires you to just kind of like play time. That's another thing that kind of sucked about the game. I think time was really short. It's really and we definitely felt this playing duos, because if you have at least mildly good health, like coverage, like, oh, I'm low life on this character, I'll swap to another one, it's almost 100% that you will get a timeout.
It's like those episodes of Scooby-Doo where they just running, and then you see they show the other scene, and it's just the guy chasing them, and they just running.
That's actually what it feels like, dude. When you get behind, you really look at the clock. Like, I mean, one combo can take like 10 seconds. Then it's like, oh, I gotta get going. I gotta, and then it pans to the monster of the week chasing after like Ari or something. You know, Darius is chasing after Ari. It's like, well, hope I catch her.
Sometimes like I'll just lose, and like I will build like 25% bar just by losing. Like and 25, like 10%, 20%, like, and I'm just like, well, if I get hit again, if I get put in this bad situation, like, that's it. That's round 2 right off the bat.
Exactly. I noticed that so much. Like, you really feel the meter gain in that game more than anything, and it's something I think like meter gain, increasing it whatever, I feel like that's pretty easy. And it's not something that would like, it's something that's easy that wouldn't be hugely detrimental for the game, I don't think. Like, obviously, there's giving too much meter, but I don't think that's really a problem where they're at right now, because it's definitely way more on the lower end.
Yeah. And, another problem I had too is I felt like, depending on the character, jumping was like actually the worst thing to do.
Yeah.
Like being in the air was like a death wish in a team-based fight, which is weird.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Anti-airs in that game are really, really strong.
Which is good. Insanely
strong, yes.
It's insanely good, but I feel like at least jumping should be also as good as the anti.
Yeah, it definitely feels a lot like Strive anti-airs.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. I feel like some of the fuses were not as useful as I thought they were going to be.
Right.
The double assist one, I thought the double assist was I feel like it was a punishment using it. In a team-based fighter, you got to wait 4 more seconds than everybody else to get your assist back. Especially how linear all of the assists are. It's not like the assists are all like completely different. It's just like a strike forward, or like a projectile, right? Strike forward.
Projectile. Yeah, that's a really good point, because you're actually right. Like, I think, and I didn't think about this, but like how a lot of the characters are, like, again, if we talk about Darius, Project D, Project Darius,
D, yep.
Because of how his mechanic works, why would you ever choose the 2x assist with Darius over Handshake? Right? Like, why would you ever do that? Because if you get Handshake, it's like you just do way more chip. If you do 2x assist, it's just like, that's kind of, you pull them in twice, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's really it. And then they're just gonna reversing guard, and then that's it. Most people that we saw use like the 2 assists, it's like, oh, we get combo extensions. But damage is pretty high, and it felt pretty generally like everyone leads into this amount of damage, and then it's kind of that way. You don't really extend it that long, unless you're playing Yasuo for some reason. That character just damage.
Yeah, but my man be gaming.
I mean, I think Yasuo long term would probably be the best character in the game, actually.
Yeah.
Because I think with how much stuff he has, like, a lot of his options are like really, I mean, you can cancel all of his stance stuff into stance stuff. So it's like you can do like stomp, backdash, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or you can cross them up. It's like getting into mind games with a character like that against someone who's really good at him is gonna feel like if you're not used to it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like, oh, he just runs away and he does this time, or he does step forward, backdash into slash or whatever.
And he's so fast too.
Yeah. It's not easy to deal with him, I think, when you play against someone who's like doing a lot of crazy shit. I think it may be Project Y and, like, I don't know, a year after release.
yeah. We got to update.
Just wait, dude.
We updated the game.
Doesn't change.
New season. This is Project Y.
Yeah, dude. Project D into Project Y.
Another thing to talk about, I feel like the time wouldn't be so bad if the maps were so big.
Right.
If you notice, like, the stage for that game, the stage it's been so long since I played a stage so wide like that, which is, I think is good. But I think that if we're going to keep that stage length, then we have to increase the time length. Because chasing somebody with that time limit of bigger the stage, it's like, that's not good.
Yeah. So, I think that's kind of what I was feeling, to be honest with you. Like, what I said, like, defensive play, I think dominates. It's because of probably how big the screen is, because that's probably not something that matters as much if it's smaller, because it's like you just run away into the corner, like, instantly.
Right.
But if you have a lot of leeway, then it's like, I mean, you walk them from kind of you being cornered to them kind of being cornered, but they're not even close to it.
Before I ask, what was your favorite game that you could play and, like, you put so many hours in, and, like, anytime you loaded the game, you can always sit in training mode and, like, think of something, and, like, something will work. Guilty Gear Xrd, right?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: do you feel that, like, you can get that same enjoyment with simplified inputs?
In the same way, yes, just because simplified inputs don't always correlate to, like, game strategy. You know what I mean? I think that's something that matters a lot. I think that's something not a lot of people think about. It's like, if it's a matter of, like, oh, it's not as fun because I like doing stuff inputs or whatever, like doing pretzel motions and like, I get that. But, like, if it's like, oh, this game won't be as advanced because it's just simple inputs, like, that's not a real thing.
Like, when I played Yasuo, it really, I forgot that this game was simple inputs. Just because
definitely with him. Yeah.
All the stuff. And, like, when I play other characters, I was like, oh, well, I remember this thing. So I'm hoping, like, and this is the thing that I hope for the game, is that we actually when we play the game, it feels like I could go back to training mode and learn new things. Like some characters, I kind of felt like, again, like you said, Project D, Darius. I felt like he was like solved already.
Yeah,
like it was pretty fast, right? It was like,
I mean, he's a great example because like he's definitely the type of character that you do a ton of damage with. He's got a mechanic that's extremely strong,
bruh,
and
crazy.
then on top of it, he has god normal. So it's like really a lot of the time I just be pressing like 5B or 5C, and it's like, oh, I win neutral.
Yeah,
you know.
Like, I hope that they have that Yasuo feel, where like the game is simple inputs, but I forgot that the game is simple inputs. That's how much you're like you're doing so much stuff. And
yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. I think you're basically mean like Yasuo feels great because his kit requires a lot of things like links, really tight confirms, but that doesn't really exist with a lot of the other characters.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can't think of like a tight link I really did with Darius, but like Yasuo, there's that one combo where you link like 3 like stance like up slashes or whatever.
Yep.
That's hard. That's really hard. I haven't done a combo that hard in a long time.
Yeah, and with simple input and the simple input.
Yeah, it's like simple inputs didn't matter. It was just like, oh, this combo is tight as it's just not easy to do, and it's important to do it because it's optimal, right?
Yeah, it's optimal,
and it feels cool.
Yeah,
it feels really cool.
But then it gives the other players who are like casual and like just want to play. They don't have to go that route, but they could just get their combo. But if you want to extend that damage, or like you recognize the situation where you can extend more to possibly kill, I like those combo options, right?
Right, I agree with you.
And I feel like a lot of characters did not have that in the 4 characters we played. I feel like Echo kind of had it a little bit, but Yasuo really felt like it was his kit, and I hope that characters are designed where they have those options further down. It's not just like one way.
Right, like a one tree sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Where things are not solved very easily. But before we head out, where can they find you, Romolla?
I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/Romolla. I'm on Twitter at Romolla.
Oh, you went to Romolla now?
Yeah, it's ROMOOLLA.
Damn.
I couldn't get Romolla. Someone locked that shit up, dude.
Romolla, huh? Subscribe to her Twitch. Drop a follow. Also follow her on Twitter. Thank you guys so much for watching Fighting Game Select. Please let me know in the comment section below who you guys want me to try to get as well. I could try to reach out and see what's up. But until then, we'll see you guys on the next episode.